Boron is one of the simplest supplements that you could possibly take to boost testosterone and lead to better overall health. But there is a side to boron that doesn't really seem to be getting discussed much online, and that is what I want to share with you today. That is my mission, guys. I want to share the most cutting edge health information that you will struggle to find on Google. So let's get into today's video on boron. It might actually excite you and make you want to increase your dosage or add it to your stack or reincorporate it. Let's get into today's video. So what is boron? Boron is a trace element found naturally in various foods and available as a dietary supplement. It plays a crucial role in plant biology, being an integral part of plant cell walls and necessary for growth, pollination, and seed development. Your body can't produce boron. It's more like a building block than a ready-to-use tool. You need to get boron from your diet instead of making it. While boron is not classified as an essential nutrient for humans, due to the absence of a clearly defined biological function, it may still offer potential benefits. The generally accepted range for boron consumption is 1 to 13 milligrams daily. However, there is no recommended daily amount of boron. Now let's look at the foods that are high in boron. Boron can be found in various food sources. First, 1 cup of prune juice contains 1.43 milligrams of boron. Half a cup of raw avocado contains 1.07 milligrams of boron. 1.5 ounces of raisins provide 0.95 milligrams of boron. A medium-sized peach contains 0.80 milligrams of boron. 1 ounce of peanuts offers 0.48 milligrams of boron, while 2 tablespoons of peanut butter provide 0.46 milligrams. A medium-sized apple has 0.66 milligrams of boron, and 1 cup of apple juice contains 0.45 milligrams. 1 cup of boiled broccoli provides 0.40 milligrams of boron, and 1 cup of coffee contains 0.07 milligrams of boron. In further detail now, let's take a look at the mechanism of action behind boron supplementation. Now, the way boron works in the human body involves several biological processes and interactions, although not all of them are fully understood. Once boron is consumed, it is converted into boric acid and absorbed through the digestive system, with about 85% to 90% being absorbed. Here's a summary of the key ways boron is believed to exert its effects. Influence on mineral metabolism. Boron plays a role in the metabolism and utilization of essential minerals, especially calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. It helps regulate the balance of these minerals, which is important for bone health. Boron may improve the absorption and retention of calcium and magnesium, supporting bone formation and strength. Hormone regulation. Boron seems to contribute to hormone regulation, particularly with estrogen and testosterone. Research indicates that boron can influence the levels of these hormones, potentially promoting better hormonal balance. For example, boron may increase levels of free testosterone and affect estrogen metabolism, which could benefit bone health and muscle mass, particularly in postmenopausal women. Vitamin D metabolism. Boron has been found to impact the metabolism of vitamin D, which plays a crucial role in calcium absorption and bone health. Boron may enhance vitamin D's activity, increasing its effectiveness in promoting calcium absorption. This interaction is important for maintaining bone density and overall skeletal health. Anti-inflammatory effects. Boron may have anti-inflammatory properties by influencing the levels of inflammatory markers in the body. It is suggested that boron can reduce the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines, helping to alleviate inflammation. This potential effect could be beneficial for managing conditions like arthritis and other inflammatory diseases. Cognitive function and neurological health. While not fully understood, boron might influence cognitive function and brain health. It may support brain function by aiding the utilization of nutrients essential for neurological health and impacting neurotransmitter activity. Some research suggests that boron could enhance cognitive performance and memory, though the precise mechanisms are still being explored. Additionally, it also may have potential antioxidant properties that help protect cells from oxidative damage, promoting overall health, which is something that more recent research is beginning to highlight. Now, here's some really fascinating research on boron supplementation that you will be completely blown away by, and that is how boron may actually affect autism. Now, specifically the rat autism models. Boron is considered potentially useful for autism due to its potential neuroprotective effects, which may help mitigate cognitive and behavioral deficits associated with autism spectrum disorder, prompting researchers in this study to explore its therapeutic benefits. In this study published on October 14th of this year, researchers induced autism in 32 male Sprague-Dawley rats using propionic acid and then divided them into 3 groups, a control group, an autism model group, and 2 boron-treated groups receiving different doses of boron. Behavioral tests were conducted before and after the induction of autism to assess learning and social interaction. Following euthanasia, brain tissue was analysed for pro-inflammatory cytokines, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF levels, and histopathological changes in the hippocampus and cerebellum. The results indicated that the autism model group exhibited significant impairments in learning and memory, along with elevated levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines and BDNF, as well as decreased Purkinje cell counts in the cerebellum. In contrast, the boron-treated groups showed marked improvements, particularly the 4 milligrams per kilogram group, which demonstrated enhanced learning and social interaction, reduced inflammatory cytokine levels, and increased Purkinje cell counts. These findings suggest that boron treatment may have a protective effect on neural function and could potentially ameliorate deficits associated with autism, highlighting its promise as a therapeutic agent in managing ASD. Now, some of you may be wondering why the rats with autism had increased BDNF, which is often considered a good thing. However, in autism, according to a recent meta-analysis, increased BDNF may orchestrate a compensatory mechanism of neuroplasticity in individuals with ASD. Now, interestingly, there's also research on how boron may actually impact Alzheimer's disease. Now, Alzheimer's is a disease state, so just be aware that we're just presenting research and this is not specifically a health claim. We're just looking at initial research findings. If you do know someone that's suffering from Alzheimer's, make sure to consult with your medical doctor. This is not approved medical advice. So this next paper is a review published in May this year, summarizing the key research about boron and Alzheimer's disease. Some of the key points are that we can see here the potential neuroprotective role. Boron is being investigated for its ability to protect brain cells from oxidative stress and inflammation, which are critical factors in the development and progression of Alzheimer's disease. Association with cognitive decline. Studies indicate that lower plasma levels of boron correlate with increased severity of Alzheimer's symptoms and faster cognitive decline, particularly in individuals with amnestic mild cognitive impairment mechanisms of action. Boron may inhibit B-amyloid aggregation, a hallmark of Alzheimer's pathology, by forming borate esters with proteins, which could help prevent neuronal damage. Therapeutic properties of boron-containing compounds. Boron compounds also exhibit antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and neurotrophic effects, suggesting their potential as preventive and therapeutic agents for Alzheimer's disease. Need for further research. While initial findings are promising, more studies are required to fully understand the mechanisms by which boron affects brain health and to establish its efficacy as a treatment for Alzheimer's disease. Now, what about how boron may actually impact the gut microbiome? The gut microbiome and gut microbiota are slightly different things. The gut microbiota refers to the collection of microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, and viruses living in your gut. In contrast, the gut microbiome includes not just these microbes, but also their genetic material and how they interact with each other and your body. So while the microbiota is the who of the microbes, the microbiome is the what, including their genes and functions. The microbiome is a broader term that captures both the microbes and their role in your health. For 3 weeks, 3 boron compounds, boric acid, sodium pentaborate pentahydrate, and sodium perborate tetrahydrate, were administered to mice through drinking water. The researchers analyzed changes in the composition of the gut microbiota, positive shifts in gut microbiota. Firstly, boric acid significantly altered gut microbiota, increasing beneficial species like Barnesiella and Allostypes, while reduced inflammation-associated taxa like Clostridium 20b and Bilophila. Potential prebiotic effects. These changes suggest that boron compounds may act as prebiotics, fostering a healthier gut microbial environment. Role of boron in microbiota. Boron supports the microbiota by maintaining the mucosal barrier and facilitating signaling molecules like AI2B, which help regulate microbial balance. A deficiency in boron may lead to dysbiosis and weaken the protective mucus gel layer in the gut, increasing infection risks. While this study highlights boron's potential as a modulator of gut health, further research is needed to fully understand its mechanisms and potential applications in clinical settings. This opens exciting possibilities for boron as a tool to improve gut health and overall well-being. Moving on, let's have a look at how boron may actually be useful in diabetes. This study essentially summarized the research on boron and diabetes. While I haven't discussed it here, the study also emphasizes that boron-derived compounds may help with diagnosis of diabetes. Let's take a look at the findings. Boron's impact on metabolism. Boron compounds have been shown to regulate both glucose and lipid metabolism. Studies report that boron-rich diets can lower LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and body fat while improving glucose transport. Some boron compounds act on glucose transporters and enzymes involved in carbohydrate metabolism, mimicking the effects of current diabetes drugs but with potential additional benefits. Boron in treating diabetes complications. Boron compounds are proving effective in addressing complications of diabetes. Wound healing. Boric acid formulations accelerate wound healing in diabetic foot ulcers by promoting cell migration, collagen deposition, and angiogenesis while reducing infection and pain. Cardiovascular health. Boron compounds modulate inflammation and oxidative stress, improving cardiac and vascular health. Bone health. Boron helps combat diabetes-related osteoporosis by improving the utilization of calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. Neuroprotection. While direct effects on diabetic neuropathy remain unexplored, boron has shown promise as a neuroprotective agent in reducing oxidative damage and supporting nerve health. Boron as a theranostic agent. Theranostics, where compounds serve both therapeutic and diagnostic roles, represents a novel frontier for boron compounds in diabetes care. Boron-based agents are being explored for their ability to label and target pancreatic beta cells, offering insights into disease progression and potentially improving insulin release. Although no boron compounds are yet approved as theranostic agents for diabetes, their potential in imaging and therapy is gaining recognition. While more research is needed, boron's expanding role in medicine may impact how we approach diabetes treatment and prevention. Now, what about how boron specifically may help with arthritis and arthritic pain? This study, published in late September 2023, suggests that boric acid could offer promising therapeutic benefits for knee osteoarthritis. In a study with rats, boric acid was tested both orally and through direct injection into the joint to assess its anti-inflammatory and regenerative effects. Rats with induced osteoarthritis showed significantly higher levels of inflammatory markers and cartilage degradation compared to controls. Treatment with boric acid, especially in higher doses and through direct injection, led to significant reductions in these markers and improved joint health. Histological analysis revealed that the treated groups showed noticeable joint space enlargement and cartilage regeneration, with no signs of degeneration, which is shown here. The bottom left image shows the arthritis group, with C, E, D, E, and F showing different boron dosages. These findings indicate that boric acid may help reduce inflammation and promote cartilage healing, making it a potential candidate for future clinical trials in osteoarthritis treatment. Now, let's take a look at the potential side effects associated with boron supplementation. No data are available on adverse effects of high boron intakes from food or water. Symptoms associated with accidental consumption of boric acid or borax, sodium borate, contained in some household cleaning products and pesticides include nausea, gastrointestinal discomfort, vomiting, diarrhea, skin flushing, rash, excitation, convulsions, depression, and vascular collapse. However, this is not the same as dietary boron. The amount of boron consumed in people who accidentally consumed boron ranged from 18 to 9,713 milligrams, and most were children younger than 6 years. Boron toxicity can also cause headache, hypothermia, restlessness, weariness, renal injury, dermatitis, alopecia, anorexia, and indigestion. In infants, high boron intakes have caused anemia, seizures, erythema, and thin hair. Extremely high doses of boron can be fatal. For example, 15,000 to 20,000 milligrams can cause death in adults. Boron is not known to have any clinically relevant interactions with medications. So the takeaway associated with boron supplementation, if you're not already using boron, then you're probably going to be missing out on a lot of these benefits. And this research highlights the importance of maintaining a well-rounded diet that provides adequate amounts of micronutrients such as boron. There are many studies on the importance of various compounds found in food, and boron is no exception. While boron is not currently approved for treating many conditions, recent research is intriguing. Now, these studies, along with previous ones, suggest that boron may offer potential benefits, such as supporting bone health by regulating mineral metabolism, enhancing hormone balance, especially estrogen and testosterone, boosting vitamin D effectiveness, reducing inflammation, improving cognitive function, and providing potential antioxidant protection. However, more research is always needed to fully clarify these health benefits. And what I want to do is actually ask you, have you personally used boron and have you benefited from boron? If you have, leave a comment down below. Let's get a discussion going. And finally, don't forget, if you haven't already tried my new supplement, Catwa Pure, a specific catwaba extract, definitely check that out at inbeforesups.com. I'll leave that linked down below in the video description. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.